Hello students, I am Ayush Padda. I am here to take the lecture on your subject Power Electronic Application to Power System. In this lecture series, we will see the introduction to AC system compensation requirement in this lecture, where we have review of requirement for compensation, load compensation is objective, and idle compensation. First, in this lecture, we will see that what is the requirement for compensation. As we see, when we use an ideal power system, the voltage and frequency at every supply point would be constant and free from harmonics. Very good. And power factor would be unity. But in reality, it could not be matched because in reality, the voltage variations are large. That could be causes merely an inadequate performance. So there could be no interference between the loads in case of ideal system, but in case of reality there is a much interference between the loads due to the variations in current by each one. By two of point of our reality check and ideal check, we have notion that they are the points of quality of supply. What is quality of supply? When we say that we have to get a constant voltage and supply at a point. How nearly to the unity is power factor. This is a point which will say that you have quality power supply. In case of three-phase system, degree to which phase current and voltage are balanced must be included in the notion of quality of supply. So we have definition of quality of supply, which is numerical term involve the specification of such quantities as maximum fluctuation in RMS voltage average over a stated period of a time. Now we will also see in this point that specification of this kind can be more precise through the use of statistical concepts. Now we conclude these points. These points merely say that our reality check and idleness of our AC power system give our concludeness to the power quality system, which is we have to be compensate our reality so that we will match the idleness. Then how will we get our ideal AC power system so that we get our power quality supply? By using some load compensation. Now question is, what is load compensation and why it is a requirement of load compensation? So we identify some of the characteristics of power system and their loads which can be deteriorate the quality of supply, concentrating on those which can be concentrated by compensation and by supply or absorption of appropriate quantity of reactive power, resulting in an ideal compensator which can be taken up by loads. So that is we came to conclusion of load compensation devices. The definition of our load compensation is it is management of reactive power to improve the quality of supply in AC power system. Now we have to go to the objective of load compensation. We have to say what are the main objectives to add our compensation devices in a system. As on previous slide, we will say that in reality, our voltage irregularity causes the non-unity power factor system, and that will cause, in case of three-phase, an unbalanced load. And three of these are our main objectives. We will get point to each objective. First, we will see are power factor correction. In power factor correction means practicing of generating reactive power as close as possible to load, which will require it rather than supplying it from a remote power station. Most industrial loads have lagging power factors. You know, they absorb reactive power. The load current, therefore, tend to larger than is required to supply the real power alone. Only the real power is ultimately useful in energy conversion, and excess load current represent a waste to consumer who has to pay not only to access cable capacity to carry it but also for access joule. Go to your near one industries. Yes, go. See, they use some inductive machines. What inductive machine do? They take some real power and do their work, but they also consume some reactive power. What they do about the reactive power? No, they are waste. What reactive power will do? Reactive power do that they decrease the power factor. What will causes the decrement in power factor? It is power factor is basically the percentage of how much you will use the apparent power. If will you say 0.5 power factor, it will say that you will only use 50% of apparent power for the real work. So you have to require much more power for such work. So in that case, the area of cross section also be increases if power factor will decrease. That is the good reason for which we will use or always be advisable to industry to use the unity power factor system. It will not, then they are being penalizing. Now we get to the second point, improvement of voltage regulation. Voltage regulation be an important and sometimes critical issue in presence of load, which will vary their demand for reactive power. All load vary their demand for reactive power, although they differ widely in their range and rate of variation. Variation in demand for the reactive power causes variation in voltage at supply point, which can be interfere with efficient operating of all plants connected to that point. What it causes? It causes the interference between the all different consumer. It is a great problem. So due to which it will always be advisable that the rated voltage should be plus and minus 5% average over a period of few minutes. Great. Now it is also that how will we improve the voltage regulation? Voltage regulation can be improved by increasing the size and number of generating unit. It is great. You will give more power to the system such that reactive power compensation should be done. But it is a great idea? No, it does not be a good idea. Why? It will making the network more densely interconnected. So you have to pay more. As you say, if your requirement is there. Likewise, for example, you have 10 chapati of intake and you waste 5 of them. Okay, you need 10 and you waste 5, but then you have to need 5 more for compensation of the 10. So your total intake is 15 rather than 10. So you have to pay for that 5 chapatis. It is great for that wastage? No, it is not great idea to increasing in generating units. That is not a good idea. So what is a good idea? It is much more practical and economical to size the power system according to maximum demand of real power. How is it done? It can be done by some reactive power compensation divided devices which can be flexible such that no generating unit are requirement and no contribution to the faulty level. Great one. Now goes to the third R objective, which is load balancing. So what is load balancing? As well as say, it always be causing in three-phase system. We will design for a balanced operation. Under the unbalanced operation, which will give rise to the component of current in the wrong phase sequence, like negative and zero sequence. Such components can have desirable effects, including additional losses in motor and generating units, oscillating torque in AC machines, increased ripple in reactors, malfunctioning of several type of equipment. Certain type of equipment depend on balancing operation causes some triplet harmonics. This would appear in power system. So these are our main objectives. So our third one, which is our load balancing, as you see, how will affect? Yes, it will affect more in harmonic content. If your load is unbalanced, then harmonic contents are developed in power system. It is R in our unit how the harmonics are being compensated. So we will discuss that harmonic compensation in our next unit. So get to the next lecture. So what we conclude now? We concluded that for the compensation, the power factor correction, improvement of volt regulation, and load balancing all are the major effect. This could be done by using different compensation devices like solid state devices. You are correct. Now, why we use and why we always mind about the solid state device? Like you will see some GTO based PSI. Yes, it is also some compensation device. Now, there is any ideal compensation devices? Yes, there are some ideal compensatory devices. Then, what is their specification? Because when we use some compensation devices, like you have some inductor or capacitor, there can be a compensation devices, but what they cannot. In inductor, it will give some losses like I Li square. What inductor can do? Inductor can do type of losses type half Li square and capacitor half CV square. So we does not use L and C as a compensator devices. Then what type of compensator device use? As I already said, solid state devices or FET devices. Why? Because we require some ideal compensation specification. What are their specifications? Check out. That is precise controlling. How we get precise controlling? It can be such that it can control a variable amount of reactive power precisely so that our load be controlled without delay. Second point, it can be such that it will present a constant voltage characteristic at a terminal. And last characteristic and specification of our compensator is it can be capable of operating independently in three phase. Okay, that are our specification. If all conditions are met, which one will? It is a FET device. Why FET device? We will discuss in our next lecture. We will see the static and dynamic characteristic of our system, of our FET devices. You will see these units are basically on compensations and their characteristic. Thank you.